first thing we're going to do is add a text box. You're going to go to your toolbox, you're going to grab a text box object, pull it out onto your screen. Alright, add some text to it. First, of course, you're going to name it. I name mine text number of downloads. Then you're going to add some text to it because you need to resize it. In this case, we're going to add the number 888. The reason being that 8 is the widest character, so we want it to be as wide as it needs to be. Alright, so once I've added the text and changed the font, then I can resize the text box. Definitely don't forget to resize the font, because otherwise your text box will be the wrong size. So notice that I just pull it until it's the right size that I want, and then I'm just going to go in and erase the text because I don't need the text anymore. The next step is to assign the accept button. In this case, we are going to assign what happens when we hit enter. We want the calculate cost button to work. So we click on our form, go to our property windows, select the accept button, select button calculate cost, and you're done. Okay, next we're going to start coding. Alright, so double click on your calculate cost button. Once you have your coding screen open, I want you to go above the private sub button calculate cost, and I want you to enter in your constant. We do this so that our constant can be accessible to all our private classes. So if we put it inside the private class, it wouldn't be accessible to other private classes. In this way, we have what we call a global constant, and that it's able to be used throughout the program. And remember, in this program, our constant is 99 cents. So that's what we're going to create right here. And you guys can refer back to the instructions to see the exact words. Alright, next we're going to code the actual calculate cost button. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create some variables. Now I want you guys to keep the variables separate from your labels and your text boxes on your form. Variables are just spaces in the computer's memory to hold information. And we need to create a variable for each piece of information that we want to hold. Okay? So once I've kind of given my comments, then I create the variable with the keyword dim. Dim doesn't mean anything in particular, it just means something to the computer. Then I create my string number of songs as a string. Notice that my name is str number of songs, and that's a string. And then my next one is int number of songs, and it's an integer. So if you're working with a string variable, you want to name it str, and then whatever you want to name it. And if you're working with an integer, int. If you're working with a decimal, dec, so on and so forth. Alright, so now I've created my integers, so let's code some more. Now I'm ready to take what information I put into my text box and put it and assign it to my string variable, string str number of songs. So that's what I do on this next line. But since I want to do math with it, I need to convert it into an integer because math equations can't use string variables. So I convert my string to my int number of songs, and now I'm ready to do math. So now I'm going to take my DEC total cost of downloads, it's my decimal variable, and I'm going to create a math equation where I take my int number of songs and multiply it times my constant. Remember, that's my number of songs times my 99 cent constant. That's going to give me my total cost of downloads. The last step here is to actually take that answer that we got from our DEC total cost of downloads and put it back into our label. Okay. Alright, so finally we're going to code the rest. The rest of it's pretty straightforward. So I'll go back to my form. I'm going to click on a lot of my buttons just to get all the information that I need. So I can click on my clear button, click on my exit button, and then I also click on the form itself because there's a couple of things I want to have happen when the form actually loads. The clear button, I'm going to write some comments, and then I'm just going to simply tell the fields on the form to clear. Alright, so I need my text box to clear, I need my answer label to clear, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. But the other thing I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be focusing, which user clicks on the form, it automatically clicks on the text box so that they know that they need to answer something in the text box. Here I use .clear with some parentheses for my text box, and then .text equals quote marks, and that will clear my label. And then I'd use .focus to focus my arrow key. Obviously exit, we've used this one before, me.close. And then with the form, I'm going to actually have one of my labels, have the text in that label change a little bit, because right now on my form I have x.xx price per download, and what I really want is 99 cents per download. So I'm going to take that constant that I created and I'm going to put it into this label with some text, and that's what that next line does. Also, when the form loads, I want to make sure that my text box is clear and all my labels are clear. And that's pretty much what I'll be doing. And I want it to focus. So that's really the end of that. So congratulations, you've programmed another program. If you have questions, check out the instructions. Otherwise, nice job.